One would.
All right, court is calling 2019 CR 13237, State of Texas versus Carlos Ricardo Arrojo. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Howdy, Joe Stenberg, representing the defendant.
And are you Carlos Arrojo?
Yes, sir.
Going to show you what's entitled motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Are you the same Carlos Ricardo Arrojo who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2019 CR 13237 for the offense of unauthorized use of a vehicle on May 6, 2020 for a period of 4 years? Is that you?
Yes, sir.
All right, state.
Violating condition number 18 in Bear County, Texas, the defendant, Carlos Ricardo Arroyo, is then and there failed to report weekly to the supervision officer for the weeks of March 28th, April 1st, April 4th to the 8th, April 11th through April 15th, April 18th through the 22nd, April 25th through the 29th, May 2nd to the 6th, May 9th to the 13th, May 16th to the 20th, May 23rd to the 27th, May 30th to June 3rd, June 6th to June 10th, June 13th to June 17th, June 20th to June 24th, 2022, in violation of condition number 18.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
Your Honor,
She needs to hear you.
Oh, sure.
Your Honor, the state waives all the violations.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 18? That's okay. Court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Knowing that, you still wish to plead true to violation of condition 18?
Yes.
Yes.
Court will find violation of condition number 18 true. Is there an agreement?
No, Your Honor, I think we're all both in go with the court.
All right. Any witnesses?
I have to.
All right, if you'll call your first witness, and if you'll call the one that needs the interpreter first.
Okay. There you are. I don't have my glasses on. So now.
Thank you. All right, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm that the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Lo juro. I swear.
All right, you can lower your hand. We have an interpreter here. If the interpreter, if you could raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear and affirm you will faithfully translate from English into Spanish and Spanish into English, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Norma Nero.
All right, defense.
Howdy. Your relationship to this gentleman, he's your son, right?
Sí. Yes.
And right now, as far as your history goes, you're taking care of your mama, correct?
Sí. Yes.
And you're familiar with the fact that I think it was 2022, your son blew out his right knee, could not use his right knee.
Sí. Yes.
And he could not work for a while, is that correct?
Sí. Yes.
And then another time after that, that same knee gave out on him and he could not work again. Remember that one?
Sí. Yes.
But other than that, since he's been on probation, he's been working, right?
Sí. Yes.
He's had different jobs, and like one he lost because he hurt, that's when he hurt his knee.
Sí. Yes.
And then when the knee gave out on him again, it's he lost his job because he lost over a week worth of work.
Perdió más de una semana de trabajo, correcto.
Sí.
Yes.
But since then, he's been
Pero
working
desde
like
entonces,
almost 40
Ha estado
or
trabajando
40 plus hours a
de
week.
40 o más de 40 horas por semana.
Sí.
Yes.
And he hasn't gotten in any trouble
Y
with the
él no
law.
se ha
Is
metido en
that correct?
problemas con la ley, ¿eso es correcto?
No se ha metido. No.
No, he hasn't.
And y'all met by y'all,
Y
his kind of like wife. I
ustedes
think
tienen,
kind of like they live
ella
together
es
like their
como su
husband and wife.
esposa, porque viven juntos como marido y mujer.
Sí.
Yes.
And that was in December of
Eso fue en
2021, is
diciembre
that
del
correct?
2021, ¿correcto?
Sí.
Yes.
And they lived with you all for a while,
Y también vivieron con usted por un tiempo.
Sí.
Yes.
but now they've got their own place.
Pero ahora ya tienen su propia casa.
Sí.
Yes.
And is your son,
Y su hijo.
well, tell the judge
Bueno,
about your
díganle al
son
juez acerca
briefly.
de
Is he
su
good
hijo.
character? Is he
Brevemente,
is
es
he
una
honest?
persona
Is he-
buena, es honesto.
Pues mi hijo es una persona muy trabajadora, de muy buen corazón,
Well, my son is a very hardworking man with good heart,
y pues yo lo siento porque él quebró provecho,
and I am sorry that he violated his probation.
pero es muy trabajador y muy honesto
But he's a hardworking, very hardworking
y muy
and
buen
very
corazón.
honest,
Tiene muy buen corazón.
and he has a very good heart.
And let's just take up when he uh, met his new, I call it gal pals, back in-
Hablemos cuando conoció a su novia.
December of
En
2021.
diciembre del 2021.
Does he drink alcohol?
¿Él tomó?
No,
No.
Does he do drugs?
¿Él
No.
consume drogas? No.
Pass the witness.
Paso testigo.
Does your son own a cell phone?
¿Su hijo tiene celular?
sí,
Yes.
Has he owned a cell phone while he's been on probation?
Él ha tenido un celular mientras él estaba en libertad supervisada o probation.
sí, el celular. Sí. Ajá.
Yes.
So
Yes, his cell phone.
So he could have reported to probation.
Entonces, él se pudo haber reportado a la oficina de libertad.
Pero hubo un tiempo que no traía también teléfono.
But there was a time also that he didn't have a phone.
But he was aware that he was on
Pero
probation,
él sabía que estaba en libertad
Sí.
supervisada. Yes,
so he could have still reported.
él pudo haberse reportado.
Pues sí, ¿qué le puedo decir?
What can I tell you? Yeah,
Um,
Nothing else with the state.
no tengo nada.
No further questions of this witness.
all right, thank you so much for coming in.
Ahora puedes sentar.
Looping in this.
Uh,
We don't need to.
Okay.
So
Next.
are no more need for an interpreter?
Correct.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Do you need me to sign anything?
No, Judge.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
No,
Come on.
good morning. Well,
Good
afternoon.
afternoon.
Yeah. Could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Guadalupe Mendez? Yes.
December 21, I think that's when you first met Carlos, is that correct?
Yes.
And y'all pretty much been living together since then?
Yes.
And you are on SSI because of your learning disability, is that correct?
Yes.
But you know that there's right and wrong,
Yes.
and you're gonna tell the truth.
Yes.
With respect to Carlos, since you've known him since December of 2021, does he drink alcohol?
No, he does not.
Has he taken any illegal drugs?
No, he does not.
Now, with respect to his knee injury, it's called an ACL. He had to go to the hospital
Yes.
and he was off work for a while and got workers' compensation. And you brought me those papers, correct?
Correct.
And then he went back to work when he was allowed to go back to work.
Correct.
And he's pretty much worked 40 hours a week except when his knee went out again, and I think it was 2022, 2023. I'm not real sure. But you remember when his knee went out the second time,
Correct.
and he was off work again,
Yes.
but that time, not too long, like a week or so.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Correct. I'm sorry.
All right. And y'all, you brought me a bunch of papers, which I asked you to bring me. Are these true?
Yes.
And that shows not all of his pay, but in the hours that he worked, over 40 hours a week, different places of employment.
Correct.
And also he had some appointments he had to make. Did he make those appointments?
Yes, he did.
And that was in 2023, medical appointments for his knee and medical clinic work status. He had finally got approved to go back to work, right?
Yes.
And the last one of these papers is residential lease agreement, which I'll sign on October 1st of 2023. All you could find was the first page, is that correct?
Correct.
It's 5 pages. We offer those in evidence to show that he's been working.
No objection, proceed.
All right, that's just for the courts to review, or are
Yeah.
you offering those into
And
evidence?
you just look at them.
Okay.
Will you tell Judge Boyd a little bit about Carlos?
Yes. Well, Carlos is a good person now. I mean, with the mistakes that he did, I mean, he was by himself, so. And I'm here to now to guide him to the right path, make sure he does what he's supposed to. So he won't be back here again.
And you know, he's without a doubt supposed to report to probation. When he's told to report, he's supposed to report.
Yes.
I got the records back and I'll give them back to you. Thank you very much for bringing them. Anything else you wanted the judge to know about Carlos?
He's just a good man. He's a hardworking man. He comes home once he's out of work. And I just want to make sure that he's on a good path and not come back in here again.
And he hasn't picked up any criminal case and been arrested.
He hasn't gotten into trouble.
All right, and we passed the witness.
Were you aware that he was on probation?
No, I wasn't.
So he never mentioned any of that to you?
No.
So would it surprise you because you guys got together in December of 2021?
Yes.
Would it surprise you that that's when he started making appointments to take drug tests?
But on that time, I wasn't like, I was coming in and out of his life. I was staying with him, but I wasn't like living there for myself and everything at that time. But I wasn't,
So during this time, did he own a cell phone?
no, he didn't have a cell phone and he would try to use mine. But, again, like, I didn't know he had a call for probation and stuff.
Nothing from the state judge.
All right.
Well, I have a feeling you'd making a call now, right?
Yes,
All right.
yes. Now, I will make sure he goes back on what he's supposed to do, so he won't end up in here again.
Pass the witness.
No.
All right, thank you so much for coming down.
Thank you.
We call Carlos.
All right. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? You need to speak up.
Yes, ma'am.
You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Carlos Ricardo Arroyo.
All right, defense.
Carlos, you were, since you've been on probation, working pretty much full time. When I say pretty much, you did have twice when your right knee ACL gave out, you had to go have that taken care of. You're out for a while. But other than that, you've been working, right?
Yes, I have.
And the last time you lost a job is one of these temporary jobs that you gave the as I understand, the work permit off excuse to the whatever they call the people that hire you, but they
Yeah.
didn't give it to your employer.
Yes, I gave
And-
him the why I was out and everything. I told him why exactly I couldn't walk for a whole week. I told him I went to my doctors. I got doctor's excuse. They still said, we'll see later on. We can keep it call, but we're not too sure because you missed a whole week.
Okay, other than that, you've been working 44 plus hours a week, right?
Yes,
And like, since you met Lupe in December of 2021, have you had any alcohol?
no,
Have you had any illegal drugs?
no.
And why did you not report?
To be honest, I was just scared. I was young, I was stupid. You know, I didn't have what I have now. I didn't know what I could lose doing all this. Like, and I didn't think about the future, how it would affect me. And now I regret that decision. I was stupid. I was young. I could tell you. I wasn't thinking right as I am right now. Like I got a lot to lose right now. I got a lot.
Well, you understand that hopefully without a doubt now, you're supposed to report.
Yes, I do.
And if you cannot report in person, if you're supposed to report in person, you pick up the phone and call,
Yes,
but you must report. Do you understand that?
I understand it.
And if the judge, we're asking that she extend your probation. If she does do that, we're asking that she allow you to report and you will report. Is that correct?
That's correct. I would do my best. Everything is to go to report and everything I should do. Get back on the right path. I wouldn't mess this up again. That was something that
And when you were stopped, you hadn't broken the law. They just read your not driver's license, your automobile license plate popped up as a warrant.
that's correct.
And this is a badge that you wear at your current place of employment.
Yes.
And you basically the type of job that you're doing now for Toyota. But there's not Toyota, it's one of their subsidiaries that does the work for them, whatever you call it. What do you do?
I do the transmission for the trucks, for the hybrids, for the Toyotas. Pretty much for all I do is just set up all the little parts into place for the transmission and then send it off to the next person just to finish it off. And that's pretty much it. That's all I do.
And if you understand, if you miss a part, transmission won't work.
Yes,
And you understand, if you miss reporting, probation doesn't work.
I understand it.
You're asking the judge for forgiveness.
I'm asking her for a second chance and forgiveness. You know, I'm sorry for what I did when I was young. Right now, like I said, I'm grown and I wish I never had done that. What I did, it was stupid of me.
And pass the witness.
So were you aware that leading up to when you began to stop reporting, when you were testing positive for drugs?
I was in a tight position. I was struggling with a lot of stuff back then.
So again, I'm asking for a yes or no. Were you aware that you were testing positive for drugs before you started failing to come in?
Yes,
And you haven't been submitted to drug testing in almost 2 years. Is that correct?
only when I go to my job interviews, I do drug tests. That's it. But no, I haven't. In over 2 years, I haven't done drug tests.
So there's no way for the court to verify whether or not you have abstained from those drugs. Is that correct?
Yes,
And you would agree with me that the easiest thing that you could have done is pick up the phone and call probation.
yes. But like I said, I was scared at the same time. Like, I didn't have the people that I had now in my life.
But at the same time, it's you who's on probation, not
That's
with
true.
other people. Is that correct?
That's true.
Nothing to say.
And was it a matter of, I think you told me you were told by the probation officer you had to pay money.
I had to pay at least the patch and the the monthly payment. If not, like, they will revoke my probation and they'll send me off to wherever I was supposed to go off to.
And you didn't have the money.
I didn't have the money because I wasn't working at the time. I was struggling with money. Like I said, I'm sorry, I can't say nothing else than that. I was just struggling with the money, and that's why I was scared to go back to probation.
All right. Again, a pass.
Where were you supposed to be sent off to?
I'm not too sure, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm sorry, I did not hear that last
I
question.
said, where were you supposed to be sent off to? Say,
Oh, get revoked. Adios.
Well, I
man.
mean, you're not the witness.
I know.
All right. So I have a couple of questions. How old are you?
I'm 28 already.
All right, so you're 28. So when you were placed on this probation, how old were you?
I want to say early 20s, like 22, 21.
All right, so why were you not reporting?
I didn't have the money to report anymore. I didn't have the job to do anything. My phone wasn't even on. And I was struggling just to get a hold to my probation officer, John Barfield. I still remember his name.
No, because in this court, I always tell everybody, if you have an issue with probation and you feel like they're not addressing it, you can come to court. So why
I didn't
were you not reporting?
I didn't know I could come and address to you or ask for help.
I say that all the time. I always tell people who are placed on probation, you're on probation. I want you to be successful at it. If there are some issues with probation, you can always come back to court and we're always here. Everybody can tell you we're always here.
I'm sorry, like I said, I was young. I still did. I was young and
Probation,
stupid.
what are you recommending?
Your Honor, the recommendation would be for an extension for 2 years, extension to status, or revocation.
All right.
And I don't think you need SATA. Back then, that was written in 2022, Your Honor.
All right. And if you could do a trial court certification for me, please, because I don't have that in the
Got it
file.
here. I just need to fill it out.
All right, if you all will fill that out.
Thank
you. And I'll fill in the name and I can fill in the cause number.
Okay.
What are you asking for?
For reinstatement.
All right, there, well, probation is saying that they will continue you, but you have to go on inpatient treatment.
What exactly is inpatient treatment?
That's where you stay in custody and you're transferred to a facility that will help address your drug issues.
I'll be willing to do that.
Okay.
You need to sign
Your
this
Honor,
and, not a pre-party.
I would ask that before we make a firm decision on SATF, if we can do a TAC evaluation and see where he is. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
And state, what are you requesting?
I was just gonna ask for a year in the state jail, Your Honor.
And I'm not sure what to check because it's not appropriate.
Because I'm the person who checks.
Oh,
Defense attorneys are always checking the boxes on that as though defense attorneys are determining whether or not someone has a right to appeal. But that's me to make that determination. All right. All right, Mr. Rojo,
Yes,
I don't think you're a good candidate to be continued on probation. I know probation is saying revocation or eat a SATF. Nobody knows where you've been. I don't know why it is that sometimes people think that being on probation, you can still do what you want to do. Have you completed anything on probation?
I completed the classes,
What classes?
the ones that you had set me up on, the child classes.
So you completed parenting classes, which means you have children.
Do you have
And-
children?
Yes, one in Mexico.
Yes, he does. That's why I ordered parenting classes. And I had here, there was supposed to be restitution to Guadalupe San Miguel. And if you were to turn out positive on the patch, that you would go to SATF. So. What is his criminal history?
That one case?
Just this?
Yes.
Is this the only thing you have? Nothing else?
That's it.
Right. All right. I can deny the motion of alternate main conditions that include a TAP evaluation and follow the TAP recommendations, or either I can revoke you and I'll sentence you to 1 year in the Bear County Jail under 1244. Which do you prefer?
Which one was the first one?
The first one is deny the motion, alternate main conditions. You remain in the custody of the sheriff's department until the TAP evaluation.
Right.
What is the time on the TAP evaluation? Yes, it'll be 1 to 2 weeks. TAP evaluation is basically a resume to see what your drug of choice is and if you have a drug issue. If they determine that inpatient treatment is right for you, you will not be released from custody. You will go straight to the inpatient treatment facility.
Take it down. I took that one down,
Okay, the treatment.
the treatment.
All right, the court will find 18 true, deny the motion, alternate main conditions to include a TAP evaluation in custody and to follow all TAP recommendations. Extend for 1 year. And we can do a referral to felony drug court. Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, just,
I've said it again, I'm gonna say it, I've said it before, I'm gonna say it again. If there's an issue with probation and you feel as though they're not addressing it, you can always come to the court. Do you understand?
yes, and how would I be able to do that if I?
Oh, just walk in the door?
Should I could just come over here and talk to you in person?
Yes,
Okay, that sounds right, thank you.
except if it's a holiday, we're closed and we're not here on Saturday and Sundays.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah, thank you.
all right, thank you.
Thank you very much, man.
You're
Have
welcome.
a great week.
All right, you too.
And we keep it working like Oouchie the boss. We tryna catch up like we hit us a fault. We gotta win, ain't taking no loss.